Hey guys, today's lesson will be on substitution and elimination of solving systems of linear equation. This will be more a review since we've already done this in Algebra 1, but I'm going to go ahead and do these problems with you. If you were in class on Friday, we've already went over a simple version of substitution, but let's look at this one. When you look at these two equations right here, you can see that none of these, neither x or y is almost by itself, but I'm going to choose the top equation. I'm telling you why I'm choosing the top equation to work with. I'm choosing the top equation because when I look at these three numbers, I know I can either reduce it or solve for something that's going to work. So let's look at the top one. So when I look at the top one, I'm going to write it right here. I have 5x minus 20y is equal to 70. Okay, so I know in all three terms, 5 will go into all 5, 20, and 70. So I'm going to divide all of it by 5. So when I do that, I end up getting x minus 4y is equal to 14. Now, when you look at this now, you can see how x is almost by itself. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and move 4y on both sides. So now I end up getting x is equal to 14 plus 4y. Now we have x by itself. Once you get this, since I use the first equation, I'm going to go ahead and plug it into the second equation. I found x, so I'm going to plug it in there. So now I have 6. My x is 14 plus 4y. 14 plus 4y plus 5y is equal to negative 32. Divide by here. When I do that, I get 84 plus 24y plus 5y is equal to negative 32. I'm going to go ahead and combine the like terms. So I ended up getting 84 plus 29y is equal to negative 32. Now by subtracting 84 from both sides, I get 29. I'm going to write it right here. 29y is equal to negative 116. I don't have room to write down what I'm doing, but you can see that I'm going to have to divide each side by 29. So when I do that, I'm going to write my answer right here. When I do that, I get y is equal to negative 4. Now I found my y. So on my answer, I'm going to have to write, here's my answers. My y is negative 4. Now I have to find x. So all I'm going to do is just plug it in here. My x is equal to 14 plus 4y, which is negative 4. I got x is equal to 14 minus 16. So my x is ended up equal to negative 2. And I think what some of you guys were asking is, why did you plug it into this equation rather than one of these two? Well, you can do it either way. You're still going to get the same answer. But once x is solved like this, I'm just going to go ahead and plug it in here because that's a whole lot easier for me in my head. So I found my x and y, and this would be my answer for solving the system of linear equation. And that answer means, I'm going to erase some of these to tell you what the answer is. The points that we found, x and y, that answer gives us a certain thing called intersection between those two lines. If you see this, you can kind of you can tell that these two equations are two lines. The one on the top makes a line, one on the bottom makes a line, because we can put it into y is equal to mx plus b form. So this is not a very accurate graph, but if I do graph it, it's going to look somewhat like this. Two lines intersecting, two different lines, and that point right there, we're saying the point where it crosses, that point right there is that point. So when you solve the system of linear equation, it gives you the point of intersection. And this is one of the ways to solve a substitution. Now let's look at elimination. Elimination is the one that you guys like the most, but we're going to look at something that we haven't really looked at before in class, but we can do it by multiplying both top and bottom. So let's look at this. When I look at this equation, I know I'm going to have to eliminate one of them, but traditionally once we looked at it in class, we could eliminate it just by adding and subtracting. But as you can notice, we really can't, because A's don't match up and B's don't match up. Now we're going to multiply both top and bottom by something to make sure that we can eliminate this. When I look at this, I think it'll be easier for me to match up the B's than A's. It doesn't matter which one you match up. So I'm going to multiply the top by 5. So I'm going to get 10b here. In order to get 10b here, I'm going to multiply this by 2. So it's kind of like finding the common denominator, kind of. So once I do that, I'm going to get 25a, and I'm going to write here 25a minus 10b is equal to negative, doesn't equal to negative 95. I'm going to do the same thing here. We get 16a plus 10b is equal to, please write, equal to negative 110. Once I get here, I know that numbers in front of b's match up, so I know I'm going to add it. When I add it, these are going to eliminate. These are going to go away. So when I add top and bottom, I'm going to just go in order. When I add 25 and 16, I get 41a. Negative 10 plus positive 10. That goes away. Equal sign comes down. So we now have negative 95 minus negative 95 plus negative 110, which gives you negative 205. Okay, once I got to this point, I'm going to divide both sides by 41. So I'll get a is equal to negative 5. Alright, so when I write this in order pair, I'm going to write my answers right here. Answer. Usually we know traditionally it's just x and y. Same thing here. If a comes before b, alphabetical always. So this will be my a, this will be my b. My a is negative 5. Now once I find a, I'm going to go ahead and pick one of these equations. I don't know which one. I think I'm going to work with the top one because the numbers are generally smaller on that one. So I have 5a minus 2b is equal to negative 19. I'm going to go ahead and plug in negative 5 for a. So we have 5 times negative 5 minus 2b is equal to negative 19. Negative 25 minus 2b is equal to negative 19. So negative 2b is equal to, I'm going to add 25 on both sides. So I get 6. And I get b is equal to negative 3. Okay, so I find my b, so I put my a and b, and this would be my answer. And once again, that would be my intersection. Intersection of two lines. Intersection of two lines. Alright, so I hope this helped. This was more of a review from Algebra 1, and please let me know if you have any other questions.